A juror from the Lori Vallow Daybell trial is given some perspective tonight as jury selection for Chad Daybell begins in his trial in Boise, Idaho.
Daybell is facing 3 counts of murder, among other charges. We have team coverage tonight. Garna Mejia is looking into what's next for Lori, including another trial. But let's start with Lauren Steinbrecher. She is live in Boise right now. And Lauren, you were in the courtroom today with that juror. What was the atmosphere like?
Good evening, guys. Really, it was a lot calmer this year than what we saw last year for Lori Vallow Daybell. There was a lot less people here. They didn't have the barriers outside of the courthouse, less than a dozen sitting in on that first day of the trial. But that juror who was also sitting in on that jury selection today knows this process all too well. Embarking on an enormous mission, finding impartial jurors a second time around.
You must only consider the evidence against the defendant in this case and should not speculate as to any other case or legal proceedings involving the alleged co-conspirators.
Judge Stephen Boyce, the prosecution, and Chad Daybell's attorney asking panels of prospective jurors several questions, most notably what they know about the highly publicized case of the murders of Lori Vallow Daybell's children, JJ and Tylee, and Chad's late wife, Tammy, and their feelings on the death penalty.
If the death penalty is one of the options in a murder case like this, does that mean if you find Mr. Daybell guilty, does that immediately mean you go to the death penalty and that will be revoked?
While the court audience was small, one person who made sure to attend, Tom Evans.
I just remember being asked some of the very same questions.
One of the jurors who found Lori Vallow Daybell guilty on all charges. Except for him, the death penalty wasn't an option.
I was just really glad that I was not confronted with that, and I feel for the jurors who are more than likely going to be.
Tom explained how serving on Vallow Daybell's jury took an emotional toll on him because of the heaviness of the case. He knows this is just the beginning for a whole new group 1 year later.
It's like you're in shock and you just don't realize. And at some point I did start to realize that, and that's as I was starting to heal, I guess, from it all. So these jurors are going to go through that and probably a lot more.
Yes, this is going to be a huge, 10, could be 12 weeks coming up for these jurors. Now, another person in court today, Tammy Daybell's aunt, Vicki Hoban, the only family member who was in court, but we know other family members will show up as we get closer to opening statements. The jury selection process will take the next several days, could take up to 2 weeks. Live in Boise, Idaho, Lauren Steinbrecher, KSL 5 News.
All right, Lauren.